We're going to turn back to the other breaking news of the day, and that's reaction to the verdict in the Derek Chauvin murder trial. Reverend Al Sharpton, you're still with me. Also with us, former Chief Public Defender for Hennepin County, Minnesota, Mary Moriarty, and Derek Johnson, the CEO, President and CEO of the NAACP. Mary, I want to talk about the charges or the conviction now for Derek Chauvin and the sentencing. It carries a certain standard sentence, but the prosecution is asking for aggravated circumstances. The judge will rule on that. Sometimes it's the jury, but Chauvin waived the jury from doing that. It will now be the judge. What is your expectation of how he might rule?
So the guideline sentence, the mid-range is 150 months, which is about 12 and a half years. The aggravating factors, there are 5 of them. I would guess that the judge will find some of them. One is particular cruelty. One is the presence of minors. And there were some particular acts of cruelty here. What I think the judge will be doing is looking at the Knorr case. That was the former police officer who shot and killed a woman here in Minneapolis. And that's really the only basis for comparison of a police officer who's been accountable in that way. And he got 12 and a half years, and that was on the 3rd-degree murder. So if you look at his actions compared to Chauvin's, I think most people would agree that Chauvin's were much more egregious. So I expect the judge to be comparing what Knorr got and giving Chauvin something greater than that, but nowhere near the statutory maximum of 40 years.
Derek, it certainly sends a message to police officers that Chauvin was found guilty on all 3 of these charges and potentially could face even more time in prison for these aggravating circumstances, as Mary was just discussing. But as the Rev has been saying, as Cedric just said, it's more than just one case. It's got to be a national accountability. It's got to be a national move to address policing in this country, a federal move to address policing in this country. It's being debated in Congress right now, but it doesn't seem to have legs among many Republicans. What's your message?
Well, we should look at this moment just as we've seen 1964 Selma, Alabama. This should be the moment that we advance police reform so people could gain trust and feel safe in their communities. We don't have to get distracted by what Republicans are going to do or not do, because I do have belief that in the Senate, with the negotiation, we're going to get a reform bill out. And if we don't get a reform bill out, we're only setting ourselves up for future harm to individuals, to families, and to cities. We avoided a catastrophe yesterday. Thank goodness that the jury came back with a clear verdict on all counts. But if that had not happened, cities across this country was bracing for the worst outcome. That's no way to have a democracy. That's no way to run our cities and our government. We have to ensure that equal protection under the law can be afforded to everyone. And there's a federal standard that we're addressing, doing away with qualified immunity. Had Derek Chauvin been found innocent yesterday under Minnesota's laws, he could have been rehired by the police department, and the police chief couldn't have done anything about it.
Rev, hang on for a second because we're running out of time, and I do want to have George Floyd's cousin, Sharita Tate, join the conversation. She's the president of the George Floyd Foundation. Sharita, thank you so much for waiting this long. I know we were expecting to talk to you much earlier in this hour, so we appreciate your patience and your time. Given all that we are seeing right now, and given the next steps for you and the foundation, talk to me about the role the foundation and you will play in lobbying Congress, lobbying Republicans to move forward with federal policies, the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Sharita, we do not have your audio. Do you have a mute button on? There it is.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Okay. I apologize. As I stated, one of the things that we committed to doing early on was being actively involved in the process of making sure there was some true change. And so the Federal Policing Act, as well as the Texas House Bill 88 Act, are 2 of the things that we've been actively involved in being a part of. My sister and I actually testified for the House Bill 88 in Texas, and I know that my cousin was present for the federal act. So we are committed to being present and being active because we know that true change only will happen if we can have these officers held accountable for when they act unlawfully and they don't protect the people that they were hired to protect and serve.
Sharita, there's going to be a lot of people out there who are asking what they can do to help this effort. What can they do?
Well, I think there's many ways that people can help. You know, we have opportunities for individuals to volunteer for us. They can, you know, obviously do donations to help us to be able to move the needle forward. Some of the other programs that we're doing with the foundation have to do with youth mentorship and workforce development. So those are the things that we are trying to do to help empower our people to be able to have the best possible outcomes.
Sharita Tate, thank you so much for waiting for this hour to speak with us. We do appreciate it. Mary Moriarty, same to you. Thank you. Reverend Al Sharpton, thank you again. I'm sorry I didn't get to go back to you on what you were originally booked to talk about, which was Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. Derek Johnson, thank you as well. Quite an hour for us.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.